Jay-Z once again outsmarts Dame Dash. Amoral Minds. I'm your host, RJ Roger. And what we're going to talk about today is this feud going on once again between Jay-Z and Dame Dash. So, to give a little quick backstory on what's going on, Dame Dash owns a 1/3 interest in Jay-Z's debut album, Reasonable Doubt. And he owes $900,000 to a film producer that he lost in a lawsuit. Because Damon is unable to make payment, his interest in Reasonable Doubt has been seized and is being auctioned off in Manhattan. So everybody understands, because there's a lot of confusion out there as far as Roc-a-fella Records. I read articles where people are saying, well, I thought they sold this label a long time ago. They did. So Roc-a-fella as a label was sold off to Def Jam over a decade ago. So what's at auction is not the label. It is the master recording ownership, where Damon owns 1/3. Now, Roth Inc. is a holding company. Roc-a-fella Inc. is the holding company that holds the asset and the masters to Reasonable Doubt, in which Dame owns 1/3. Dame has been playing all of these games online. Mace and Cameron are going to buy the copyright, and they're going to be Jay-Z's boss. If you want to be Jay-Z's boss, all you have to do is show up in Manhattan and buy this 1/3. None of it ever made any sense, and he was lying to the public and lying like he always is. Dame was saying, I'm going to get 20 or 30 million dollars for it. That's laughable. Now, Jay-Z has previously said that Reasonable Doubt sells approximately 100,000 album equivalents per year, which is very little money. Now, Jay-Z has said this some time ago. There's no promotion on this album. No one's talking about this album. There's no demand for this album. The album would probably be a profitable piece when Jay-Z's dead. But right now, it really has no substantial value. But let's assume on the high end that it still sells 100,000 album equivalents per year. Jay-Z automatically will inherit the master recordings to the album back in 6 years, which means even at a high level of estimating, the album's only going to sell probably somewhere between 500,000 and 600,000. And of that 500,000 to 600,000 album equivalents, Damon would own the royalties on 1/3 of those, let's say, a gold album. Just from an investment standpoint, from a purchasing standpoint, why would someone want to spend $30 million on an asset that they can only own for 6 years, that's only selling, at best case, 100,000 equivalent albums a year, which is very, very little money. Very little money, not even close to what you would purchase the album for. So Jay-Z, who previously offered Dame Dash, I think $1.5 million for the rights a long time ago, Damon turned it down and said, you gotta be crazy if you think I'm only gonna take $1.5 million for it. Dame, you probably should have taken the deal, because the way it looks right now, I don't even know that it's going to be purchased at its minimum bid of $1.2 million. So, how did Jay-Z pull a rabbit out of the hat again? Now, at first, I thought that Jay was going to go up, show up at the auction, make a, outbid everybody for it, because he didn't want anybody to own the master recordings to his debut album. And maybe Jay-Z does show up and places a small bid and says, I'll give up to $1 million for it, or something, $1.2 million, or whatever the minimum bid is. I'm now beginning to believe that just to poke Damon in the eye, he may just let the 1/3 go for 6 years and get it back for free. But he had his lawyer file legal papers, letting it be known to any potential buyer that you can buy this if you would like for $1.2 million. But just know, I have put a request in that my master recordings will return to me in 2031 for free. So once again, Jay-Z outsmarts Dame Dash, and I would ask to all the people who are in that cult following that Dame has of these people who really have a low understanding of what's really going on. What does Jay owe to Dame Dash? We've never heard Jay-Z say one public thing, one negative thing against Dame. Dame sits on YouTube, high and drunk, every day bashing Jay, calling him a thief, saying he robbed him.
Personally, the way he did me was dirty. The way he did Biggs was dirty. The way he did Roc-a-fella was dirty. So he went, told L.A. Reid, I want Roc-a-fella, I don't want Dame and Biggs down. And we was like, damn, I'd have left. And when I had the conversation, he said, yo, I want to look like a boss. I can't look like a boss, man. I thought that was dirty. The shit he did with Rockware, that was dirty. When he said he wasn't going to be a part of it while I was selling it and devalued it. And then, I stepped away from it because I needed to go do my own thing. And all of a sudden they do a big deal like that. That was dirty. They put me, that was dirty. It was dirty business. And that's how I feel. So anytime you ask me, I'm not salty for life. Right. But with him, yeah, I'm salty. That was whack. And look, there's no more Roc-a-fella.
It's a common knowledge that Jay ain't shit. You know what I'm saying?
Define ain't shit for our audience.
He's about the bag. You know, we all know that. It's about he's self-preserving, period. Like, it's just that the people he does it to don't have, like, Beyonce next to him. They don't have that kind of a power. But, this dude here, everyone's looking. So I just think he kind of like, like he used to do that shit. He's like, it's not even like a secret. He do that shit to me with girls. Like, he'll be like, I'll be talking to a chick and I'll be like, yo, she asked me to do this, that, and the third. And he'd be like, I wouldn't do it. And then the next day he's wifed her. And I'd be like, oh, that's some funny shit.
Right.
You know what you're dealing with when you deal with Jay.
But the only documented proof we have of someone being robbed is Dame in his own voice admitting to finding, that was a clever word, finding a bank account that had $500,000, 400,000 to be exact, sitting in an account of reasonable doubt royalties. And Damon said, I snatched the whole thing, and in my head, I considered it a loan.
About 10 years ago, I was like, yo, where's our reasonable doubt royalty? So I looked at a bank account and I found like 400 racks. So I was like, yo, Biggs, I found some money. And he was like, well, I ain't touch it. Well, I need it. So I went and snatched all of it.
No, you stole it. You stole it, Dame. You stole the money. That's what you did. You stole from your partners. What do you guys think? I'm RJ Roger. This is Amoral Minds. I got a great book coming out, The Don. It'll be in stores soon. Please support the book when it hits stores. Peace and love, and I'll see you next week.